reconciliation that says, here's everything that hit capital outlay expense, here's our fixed asset additions, everything left should be in public safety, you know, whatever. That would be, I think, helpful.
But do you understand my concern as a
Yes.
layman,
Sure, yeah.
not as an accountant?
Right, no, absolutely, yes. And they will be addressed. Mhm. They've already been addressed, yeah.
You have a motion.
Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah. So we need a vote to approve the audit. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you all.
We'll move to 3.3C, NC Forest Service, Ms. Jennifer Barnhart.
Yep, and I'm from the U.S. Forest Service, so federal lands. I don't know if you can do anything with PowerPoint, but
I don't know, they said you was bringing a laptop.
yeah, I have a laptop. I'm sorry I didn't get here a couple minutes earlier.
We can plug it up to the HDMI on that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Cell phone battery is not good. Figure if your technology. The counties are just on federal lands and what we're trying to recover on. So just to give folks a little bit of an idea of understanding where we're at exactly. So if you see any of those dark green areas, that's the national forest land, so federal lands. And then you can see in particular where Avery County is. So, in the upper corner, by the Tennessee border, that's the portion that ties to who, the land that I manage. And then the other portion over there on the, more of the south, east portion of the county, that's the Grandfather Ranger District. But I oversee, stuff that's in Haywood County, Madison County, Buncombe County, Yancey County, and Mitchell, and then a little bit of Avery. And so Elk Falls area is really what I'll be talking about, and then a portion of the AT obviously winds in through there too. So yeah, just a little more zoomed in spot. Those are all the green areas, National Forest, and you guys can see Avery, which isn't too far from the Roan Highlands area, as well as Elk Falls and the Appalachian Trail. So our main things that we've been hitting on for priorities is fuel and debris removal. That's been one of our big things. Emergency responder access has been another big piece of component, so a lot of safety concerns. And then the economics, getting things reopened for recovery in that capacity, which ripple effects out to the towns and counties for sure. So for Elk Falls in specific, this is what, after Helene hit, this is just some of those pictures of what Elk Falls looked like. We had that area closed for quite some time. Were we able to reopen it last July? But yeah, just so much debris had captured in that area, even though it's a super beloved area in the waterfall. Just a lot of concerns with safety and trying to get some of that debris out. We still do have more work we need to do in that area though. But just want to give a shout out. We had a lot of volunteers in Wild South as well as North Carolina Waterfowler Keepers. Those are your organizations around here that helped out at Elk Falls and helped us out. Just trying to remove a lot of that debris out was a task in itself, hauling that out. And of course, once that was taken out, you know, people were able to go back in there, which is great. But the next steps, so that's why I'm here tonight, is to tell you all, yes, we still have a debris removal contract that is, actually I think today was the final day for folks to be able to put in for that proposal, to be selected for it. It's got multiple areas in the National Forest. One in particular is Elk Falls. So before you get to the falls, we have a lot of debris, not just woody debris, but trash components that are still there, as well as past the falls area, it goes back in as well. And so it's a long time coming. We've had a lot of obstacles and delays in our contracting world, but we're finally to a point where hopefully that will be coming soon. And then we also have trail repairs and reconstruction. So we are looking to redo that trail area just to make a lot more greater improvements. It's needed work for a while, even before pre-Helene. So that's exciting. That'll be a contractor. I don't have a timeline on that one yet. But the debris removal will definitely happen, I'd say in the next few months. That will start kicking up. And then one other thing, it's always parking is a concern out there. I can't promise this, but at some point when we have the bandwidth to look to see if we can expand the parking there, it's still not gonna provide the amount of social media, and people drive 2 hours to come to Elk Falls, and they'll load up that road and that parking area for sure. But yeah, no matter how big the parking lot we could make it, I still don't know that we'd have enough parking there. So one thing before I get off of that is, with that debris removal, I'll know more once the contract's awarded, but we might have to temporarily close Elk Falls again, just so we can allow the contractor to get in and out and get that expedited to get that stuff removed. But again, I'll know more when we actually get it awarded, if that's what I'll make a decision to do or not. I know some folks may have concerns on that. I don't know, we get different information from landowners that live there that contact us about concerns. Or, of course, we would work closely with the town and tourism if we would have to close that for a time period. It would really be a safety concern just because of the route in and out of there is, you really don't have many options except for one to come in and out of there. So I'll make sure we're keeping everyone informed. And we work with the Sheriff's Office a lot. So last year, that's who we worked with a lot and was super helpful to have that communication. So we'll make sure we're looped in there on that component with them. Some of the other stuff that's happened over in that neighborhood is, yeah, tons and tons of trees. So lots of volunteers with the trail club. It's the Tennessee Eastman Hiking and Canoeing Club that maintains that section. Would have done lots of work to cut trees, thousands and thousands of trees along the Appalachian Trail. So that's been worked on. And then here's the bigger one. I know I've heard it from the other counties, so I'm not sure where you guys are on this concern. I'm guessing you are in the wildfire concerns as well. But for us, we have looked at fuel modeling, and that means looking at what did it look like on the ground in terms of what fuels we have out there pre-Helene and then post-Helene, looking to see where there's areas that we are looking to treat, which means the removal of down trees. So we do have an area in Avery County we are looking to do potentially, and that is next to that Elk Falls area, but it's called Dark Ridge. We did 2 years ago, ended up about 500 acres came to the National Forest and made that little area a little bit bigger, and that's actually where the trees are down, and there's homes nearby that area. So if you look here on the map, it's 238 acres we're looking to hone in on for fuels treatment, and that would be ground-based equipment. So track-based would come on a national forest, remove those trees, again, down trees, which there was quite a loss with the wind that came through in there. And homes are not far from that area. So again, wildland-urban interface is what we're concerned with. And so you can see fuels modeling. This is pre-Helene. This is just showing you a snapshot of flame lengths. So if it's green, you don't have as much red there. If it's red, yellow, orange, that's going to be the difference where your flame lengths are much greater chance. So right now, if you look at it, pre-Helene, it's mostly more of the green. And then as you move in post-Helene, looking at our analysis, you're going to see more pockets of the red scattered throughout there, specifically up here in that portion here. And the homes, that wildland urban interface would be around there, the private lands. So these are the areas we are looking that will be coming into, again, reduce the fuels by getting that work done sometime this year, fiscal year 26 for us. That's a quick snapshot, but yeah, if there's anything where you need us to come to any community events or something that you needed more information on, please don't hesitate to reach out to U.S. Forest Service. Our information is on our websites for closures. Any new things are definitely posted on our Facebook pages as we get permission to post stuff on social media. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys were hoping to get from us on any other updates, just wanted to be able to come to y'all and make sure you know that we're here to be able to reach out. And if it's something pertaining to Grandfather Ranger District more, I'm happy to carry that over to Nick Larson, my colleague that's the district ranger over there on that portion of Avery County too. But just wanted to let you know we are working to address safety needs or safety concerns, wildfire issues, and yeah, continuing to do that recovery work on Elk River for us. And for y'all, for all of us.
Anybody have any questions for her?
What, the project that you're talking about that's being bid out now down there, what is the funding for that through the Forest Service?
Yeah, this is all Forest Service. Anything that I'm talking about is Forest Service work. So we would have received, thankfully, through the American Relief Act, a lot of funds to be able to actually do the recovery work that we really need to do on the National Forest. Which will take me not close to the end of my retirement. I mean, 10 years from now, I'll still be working on recovery work on the National Forest. And so, yeah, we were able to do a lot of these things that we wouldn't be able to do if we wouldn't have gotten those funds to be able to do the work. So watershed work, fuels, reforestation, planting, full gamut, ecological, and then as well as the public safety concerns like infrastructure and safety. For that.
I was just hoping it wasn't something we had to facilitate.
Nope, it's all, yeah, it's me just giving an update of like, hey, here's what we're doing in, because we're neighbors to y'all, just letting you know, like, here's the stuff that we're working on that ends up, helping the community in the long term. Sometimes there's some short-term impacts as we're trying to do that work, especially with Elk Falls.
One other question. You mentioned there on Dark Ridge in that area, what is the maneuvering of private land ownership versus what falls under the district? How is that?
Yeah, so I can only do stuff, I can only authorize them to make decisions on federal land. But NCFS, that's the state, would be a partner that we work with, and they are rolling out, their timber loss relief program. And so what that means, if there was a landowner, I just listened to their presentation because it's not been officially pushed out yet. But if the landowner has at least 10 acres of impact, of down trees, and it also has to hit certain factors of like, was it moderate level, high level, catastrophic levels, and they figure out there'll be some kind of percentage that landowners that qualify for that after they do the process will receive some funds. It won't make the landowners whole, but they could receive those funds. The landowner could decide what they want to do with them, but they could then choose to work with someone to get some more of the down trees removed, or they could choose not to do that. That's up to them. They also had the, I'm not going to remember the acronym, but it was their emergency forest relief program, I think, EFRP maybe, but that was like a 75% reimbursed. So you would do the work to get the down trees down off private, and then you could get potentially up to 75% reimbursed. That program, I'm pretty sure application-wise, that's already been ended, but that program is still in process, so landowners could actually could have utilized both, they can utilize both programs, but the state could speak to that for sure. The only other thing would be, we are working to put some funds into NCFS with a partner agreement for some work where they could do work on federal lands, or potentially if there was private landowners right next to national forest, there could be a potential we would look at something for fuels reduction right next to us. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do a big giant chunk of acres, but it would have to make sense at some point. But yeah, we're trying to use all avenues to assist where we can with the fuels. But yeah, NCFS will be the big partner because they respond to the state side. So if y'all have a wildfire on state lands, the state's gonna respond. If it's in a reciprocal area where it's agreed upon, where U.S. Forest Service and NCFS responds, we both respond at the same time, figure out if it's on private or federal, and then it figures out whose wildfire it is in terms of if it's all on private, they'll be the lead. If it's on us, then we're the lead. So, but yeah, we work together pretty closely.
The reason I'm asking is, you know, we've had many discussions about the huge potential for the next disaster being a major burn.
Yeah.
And so we have met with all of our fire departments and the state and all dealing with this, and there's still a lot of fuel load, there's still a lot of down trees on both federal, state, and private ownership. And we've been kind of not had a lot of movement on how to facilitate getting that moved ahead, you know.
Yeah, so like I said, that it sounds good if you've been working with the fire departments and NCFS. So definitely reach back out with Avery County, the ranger for the state. They would be your lead. And then again, that timber loss relief program may help assist in that in some way. Again, it's up to the private landowner to decide to do something. The other options, yeah, is looking at fuel breaks. So that is something like literally just putting brakes in where private is, because not everyone has money to spend out to get the trees removed, or they might not even have a road that accesses up into those acres on private. So that's another option. Community wildfire protection plans is something that the state would help work with as well. Mostly that's been Carolina Land and Lakes, RC&D. They've been working with Yancey and Buncombe, and I think Mitchell is now working with them. So I would suggest trying to reach out to Carolina Lands and Lake RC&D. And those community wildfire protection plans do help. Once those are in place, it does help understand where is the greatest threat. And then it also allows then folks to apply for a grant that can then assist on some of that work after there's one of those protection plans in place. But I can give you guys those contacts if you would like that, let me know. But that is one step that could help you. Like for instance, Barnesville's in Buncombe and Swannanoa, and they did do their plans recently, and those are two hard-hit areas related to Helene. But it does help you landowners and you all understand exactly where are the hardest areas that we need to be paying attention to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On the state side, for private owners, private property owners, who'll make the determination of whether it's moderate to severe damage?
Yep, so I will direct you to the, your Avery County Ranger with the NCFS. They have a whole process that they outlined, and I'm sure, I'd hope that they'd be able to provide that for Avery County, that information. So that, I think, to me, is based on a consultant forester that the private landowner does not have to pay. It'll be paid, the consultant forester would be paid through this program to come look at and assess that amount of damage. There's a lot of little details related to it, but I would definitely look for that push announcement. They were hoping sometime soon they would be able to say, yep, it's up, but it's for 2 months. So the day that they announce that it's open, folks have 2 months to apply for the program. It does apply to like almost all those Western North Carolina counties, as well as 2 random ones that got tornadoes in the eastern part of the state. But yeah, it's not first come, first served basis, but they only have a certain amount of money that they were approved to have. I think it's a third of what they requested. So they're trying to like get all the applications in and look at getting folks some funds, not necessarily like, sorry, you didn't come till the last day and we have no more money, is what they basically said. That they would not do that. They are trying to look at it as all the applications come in as a whole. So, but yeah, they have a whole system set up. But yeah, I would ask Avery County, your county ranger, if they could come and provide a presentation or something to the public, hopefully in Avery County for y'all. But what I'm hearing is that they don't apply online. They'll be going in person, and they would go to the Avery County office for the state, the NCFS, to be able to apply for the program. So, but they have a whole process lined out.
Is there any permitting fees for upkeep of trails and for the citizens if they wanted to like use a 4-wheeler trail or go in and cut firewood or just upkeep of your roads and stuff? Is there any permitting fees for that?
No, I don't, for the Appalachian Ranger District, we don't have any motorized trails. They're all foot trails.
Okay.
So no, and I can't remember, I know the grandfather has motorized trails, and that's the Brown OHV park, but I don't remember which county that falls in. Didn't think that was Avery County. No, we don't have any fees or permits when it comes to foot traffic trails. For firewood, we actually don't have a fee. We didn't have one last year, and we don't have one this year because of the amount of downed trees and that need for the public to be able to get firewood. That there is no fee or permit process through the end of this calendar year again, to help with just the amount of trees everywhere. But yeah, funding wise, we're in a good spot for a little while because of the Helene recovery. So we do have funding to be able to keep doing work, so that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Plug it for
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to 3.3D, the tax administrator's report. Ms. Audrey Turfield, and she is not here. She had a prior engagement to take her husband for some treatment, and so I need a motion to approve the total monthly collections of $401,118.69. Need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Releases are, I can barely see this because I don't see well, $423.32, is that right?
That's correct.
62, see, I told you I couldn't see. Need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye. And,
The Zoom feature is an amazing tool.
well, I tried, but it wasn't working well. And you can see the reevaluation sales for February 2026. You have sales in February of 29, last year sales were 23. Sales in February of 2026 are 69%. Last year at this time they were 65%. So. We will move to, yeah. So we've got review of the Board of Equalization and Review. And we have, we will review these this month and we'll vote on next month at the regular meeting. We have William B. Butel and Nancy Owen. And Aaron Steele, Edith Beatty Trader, and Pat Dale, and that will be all. We'll vote on them next month. Thank you for that. We'll move to 3.4, County Commissioner reports and requests, and 3.4A is County Manager report, and all we have is on March the 12th, from 5 to 8, we'll have a wildfire preparedness event here at the Ag Center, and they'll have 2 educational sessions on wildfire prevention and preparedness. The first session will be from 5:30 to 6:15. The second session will be from 6:30 to 7:15. We'll have fire trucks, Smokey the Bear, paved for the Penguin with the Red Cross. You can sign up for smoke alarms and CO detectors. And we'll have food trucks available and amazing door prices. So remember that on March the 12th from 5 to 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's not able to talk, and so I told her I would try to take care of that for her. We understand. We'll move to 3.4B, Finance Officer Report, Mr. Caleb Hogan.
All right, Board, I have 7 items and an update for your consideration this evening. Item number 1, the Department of Senior Services has received funding from the High Country Council of Governments in the amount of $19,674 to purchase additional phones, replacement computers, and printers. Request the Board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment: to debit supplies, office janitorial, $5,000, to debit capital outlay, $14,674, and credit senior services revenue, $19,674.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2, the Department of Senior Services has received a grant from the volunteer Avery County in the amount of $1,941.14 to purchase the defibrillator for the Avery County Senior Center. Request the Board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment: to debit capital outlay, $1,941.14, and credit senior services revenue, $1,941.14.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did we not put a defibrillator in that building when we renovated it?
No, the defibrillator in the old building was destroyed in the flood, and there's not been a defibrillator. The department, item number 3, the Department of Social Services has received an additional $33,977 allocation for for the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as LEAP. There's no county match. Request the board to accept the funding or the grant and approve the following budget amendment to debit LEAP $33,977 and to credit county welfare revenue line $33,977.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Was this stuff,
That's ours.
didn't we get another increase on this also? This is the second additional funding on that program.
Yes, I believe it has been, yes. The department, item number 4, the Department of Social Services has received an additional $20,245.54 allocation for the Crisis Intervention Program. There's no county match. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit Crisis Intervention $20,245.54 and credit county welfare $20,245.54.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
He's doing good.
Getting in a rhythm.
I keep waiting.
Item number 5, the Department of Emergency Management received a cybersecurity grant FY 23-24 for $93,000 from the North Carolina Department of Public Safety to help the county assess, create, and implement policies and procedures to prevent and protect against cyber attacks. The purpose of this amendment is to move the remaining funding forward into the current budget year so that we can finish out this grant. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit EM grants $40,859.20 and credit fund balance appropriated $40,859.20.
Need a motion to approve.
Move to approve item 5.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6, the Ag Extension Office received an ABC grant at the end of the 24-25 fiscal year budget for $12,000 to support youth programming. They did not have enough time to spend the grant funding in the prior fiscal year, and they're requesting the funds to be moved forward into the current fiscal year. Request the board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment to debit Ag Extension Grant $12,000 and credit fund balance appropriated $12,000.
Need a motion to approve.
Move to approve item 6.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is an amendment to the loan agreement, state cash flow loans for disaster response activities to local governments between the state of North Carolina by and through the Department of the State Treasurer and the County of Avery, North Carolina. This amendment is entered into between the state of North Carolina and through the North Carolina Department of State Treasurer and the County of Avery, North Carolina, collectively referred to as the parties. The purpose of the amendment modifies one or more of the existing loans between the parties under the state's cash flow loan program for disaster assistance or response activities authorized by Section 4E.5 of Session Law 2024-53 as amended by Section 1F.1 of Session Law 2024-57 and Section 1.3 of Session Law 2025-97. I will summarize this amendment. It is basically to make it to where we don't have to make any loan payments on the cash flow loans until June 30th, 2030. And this is something that they have proposed that we are eligible for because we qualify with their outstanding, how much we have in FEMA damages, and it is over 50% of our annual budget, and so they deem us that we would qualify for this, and we would need to get this signed by the chair and Cindy and myself to turn into the state.
Thank you, Kevin. Need a motion to approve amendment.
So moved.
Second.
Second,
Any questions? I was going to get to that.
is there not don't hardly know how to word this, but is there not a very real possibility that this will be forgiven?
Fingers crossed. That's part of the reason why I thought it was prudent that the county apply for these, because, I mean, you know, if we hadn't applied for them, then there was 0% chance we would have ever gotten any money. The treasurer understands the bind that we're in, especially with FEMA, and I hope once we get closer to that 2030 deadline, I know there's some people advocating on their behalf, that be forgiven. We probably won't know it until we get closer to that deadline, but I sure hope so. At the very least, what this will do is we can, if we were to have this, get our FEMA money back, the money that we're to reimburse us for our expenses, then these funds can set in an interest-bearing account until June 30th, 2020, or 2030. So we will actually make money off this, considering these are zero interest loans. Instead of having to pay interest, we'll make interest off this. So at the very least, that is the hope.
That's the explanation I wanted.
Okay.
Thank you, but I wanted you to say it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have been in the room with the treasurer, with some other commissioners, and this was highly advocated for, trust me.
Yeah.
And that 50%, you can tell them that we had 150% of our budget and not
Yeah,
50%.
Yeah, we way above and beyond qualified for this, yeah.
Okay. All in favor to approve this amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Good report, Terry. You got copies anything?
I try not to. The last item is just a report on Avery County TDA revenues for July through January. The TDA occupancy tax for Avery County District A has received revenues in excess of $1,026,822.38. In the month of January, our most recent period is $146,638.30.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move to 3.4C, County Report. Michelle, do you have anything?
I do not have anything that requires action by the board, but I do have matters for the board under 3.6 closed session.
Okay. Then we will, have a piece of paper first. I got it here somewhere. There it is. So we'll need a motion to go into closed session under attorney-client privilege GS 143-318.11. And we'll invite our finance officer, our clerk, our attorney, county manager, and the board of commissioners.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Hey, wait.
back into open session, and, in closed session, no vote was taken. So we'll move to 3.5, staff reports and requests, and we have none. We will go to 3.7, approval of minutes, January 21st, 2026, special meeting, and February the 2nd, 2026, regular meeting. Need a motion to approve.
Move to approve minutes.
All in favor say aye. Aye. We'll move to 3.8, agenda consent items, which we have none. We'll go to 3.9, informational items, and all that, we need to do is a by health quarterly report in the informational items. We'll go to 3.10, upcoming meeting, which is April the 6th will be our next meeting. And if nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Sorry.